All right, James Comey, well, he's in hot water, honeypot hot water, that is, folks. Could this be the moment we finally see a bad guy getting what's coming to him or her in the swampy world of the D.C. swamp? Because there are those bad guys out there, you know, in the open. We know who they are because they're loud. They can't help themselves. Chuck Schumer, I'm thinking Adam Schiff, Shifty Schiff. Liz Cheney, bad lady. Hillary Clinton, bad woman. There are bad players who also have power and also feel empowered that they're above the law. And that's because they're protected by the swamp, by the deep state. Then there are actors who lurk somewhat beneath the surface a little bit. They hide behind a veneer of law and of doing good, but in fact, they're politicized. They're on the wrong side of the law, and they're not at all good people. They hide behind the trust Americans place in the agencies that they work for. Think Anthony Fauci, think Merrick Garland, thinks James Comey. Fauci's gone, security clearance is gone as well. Thanks for that, Donald Trump. Merrick Garland, that disgrace, Attorney General, former Attorney General, he's gone too. But James Comey, he's not gone. He's very much still around and often has some things to say when he should probably keep his mouth shut. You see, Joe Biden, or rather the commie minions around Joe who protected him, who ran the country at the end of that presidency, they issued a bunch of preemptive pardons for some of the really disgusting and unpatriotic Americans. On that list, his corrupt, money-hungry family, the Bidens, Anthony Fauci got pardoned, and any members of Congress, Republicans, who served on the bogus January 6th investigation committee, but not on that list. James effing Comey. He's one of the absolute worst. It's reckoning time for James Comey, too. And he knew this was coming, didn't he?
Are you concerned that it may get a test unlike any other if Donald Trump is reelected? I mean, when you think about a second Trump administration, what do you think the implications would be for the FBI?
Oh, serious, for the Justice Department and the FBI, because Trump is coming for those institutions. He knows their power, and I think he has regrets that he didn't work hard enough to corrupt them last time. So he's coming for them, and that's a danger for all Americans.
Oh, yeah, not just for all Americans, Mr. James Comey, for you. FBI looking into James Comey's off-the-books honeypot operation targeting 2016 Trump campaign, the Washington Times. That's because the FBI will now look into James. By the way, Kash Patel and Dan Bongino's FBI will now look into James Comey's off-the-books operation targeting President Trump's first presidential campaign, 2016. As promised, Kash Patel said he would work to restore faith in the FBI, and this is a good start. It's a big one, folks. You see, as chief investigator for the House probe into Russian interference into the 2016 presidential election, Kash Patel led the effort to uncover FISA abuse. The court, remember, where FBI would have to go to the FISA court to get approval to spy on Americans, and they did that for Trump. And we now know afterwards, 8 years later, that that was illegal, and they were illegally using the FISA court. That's FISA abuse. Well, Comey exposed the Department of Justice unlawful, and Kash Patel exposed it to their unlawful surveilling of Americans, including members of the 2016 Trump campaign. The alleged honeypot investigation is said to be separate from a 2016 FBI investigation. No, we all know this one. Crossfire Hurricane, which investigated whether the Trump campaign was colluding with Russia to influence the outcome of the election. As history goes, Trump fired Comey in May of 2017. Days later, Robert Mueller was appointed as chief counsel, special counsel, to take over Crossfire Hurricane, the probe. And as we all know now, there was no evidence of any Russian collusion. The FBI is reportedly starting an investigation into the allegations that James Comey-led FBI launched a honeypot operation to infiltrate the 2016 Trump campaign with two of its female FBI agents. Honeypot, get it? Remember when President Trump told us this happened?
So the biggest scandal was when they spied on my campaign. They spied on my campaign.
There's no real evidence of that.
Of course there is.
No.
It's all over the place. Leslie,
Sir,
they spied on my campaign and they got caught.
Can I say something? You know, this is 60 Minutes. And we can't put on things we can't verify.
You won't put it on because it's bad for Biden.
So a little anecdotal story right there. That was a 60 Minutes interview. That was October of 2016, 2 weeks before the election, 2019. I'm sorry, 2 weeks before the 2020 election. Trump sat for that interview. I had a full town hall hour with Trump that was going to tape right after that. He was so ticked off. He was livid at Leslie Stahl's in 60 Minutes. He was stomping around. The Oval Office was right next to the Rose Garden. We were doing the interview in the Rose Garden. He was fuming mad. I thought he wasn't going to sit down for the interview for the town hall. And to his credit, he did and answered questions of all the folks. But